Lily and Jake walked hand in hand. The woods were dark, and the air was filled with the sounds of rustling leaves and distant hoots of owls. Every step they took seemed to echo in the eerie silence. The sun was almost gone, casting long shadows that danced on the forest floor. The last rays of sunlight filtered through the trees, creating a mosaic of light and shadow.
"It's spooky here," Jake said, his voice barely above a whisper. The path ahead seemed to twist and turn, disappearing into the darkness.
Lily whispered, holding Jake's hand tighter. She could feel her heart pounding in her chest, each beat louder than the last. The forest seemed to close in around them.
"Don't worry," Jake said, trying to sound confident. He squeezed Lily's hand, hoping to reassure her.
Jake said, trying to be brave. He could feel the weight of the darkness pressing down on them, but he didn't want to show his fear. But he felt a little scared too. The shadows seemed to move, and every rustle of leaves made him jump. The trees were tall and dark. They looked like scary giants in the fading light, their branches reaching out like twisted arms. The forest was alive with the sounds of the night, and every noise seemed to come from just beyond their sight. Crunch, crunch, crunch. They heard footsteps behind them. Lily and Jake stopped. The footsteps stopped too.
"What was that?"
Lily asked, her eyes wide. They listened closely. Something was moving back there.
Psst, Lily, Jake?
A voice whispered. Lily and Jake spun around.
"Who's there?"
Jake called out. The trees swayed, but no one was there. Lily and Jake felt goosebumps on their arms.
"This is creepy,"
Lily whispered, her voice trembling. They kept walking, faster now. The night was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the sound of their hurried footsteps. The forest seemed to close in around them, every shadow a potential threat.
"The footsteps? They're getting closer. Can you hear them? It feels like they're right behind us."
Shadows danced around them, flickering and shifting with every step they took. The moonlight barely pierced through the dense canopy, casting long, sinister shapes on the ground.
"Did you hear that? The trees, they're whispering. It's like they're alive, watching us."
The trees seemed to whisper and groan, their branches swaying as if moved by unseen hands. The fog thickened, making it hard to see more than a few feet ahead. Suddenly, something brushed against Lily's leg. She froze, her heart pounding in her chest.
"Oh, what was that? It felt cold and slimy."
She screamed and jumped back, her eyes wide with terror. The others turned to look, their faces pale in the dim light.
Boo! A shadowy figure leaped out from behind a tree, its face hidden in the darkness.
A voice giggled. Lily and Jake gasped, their flashlights illuminating the figure. It was just their friend playing a prank. Relief washed over them, but the fear still lingered in the air. A pair of eyes blinked at them from the bushes. The forest was quiet, except for the occasional rustle of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. The eyes seemed to glow, reflecting the moonlight that filtered through the dense canopy above. Lily and Jake held their breath. They had been exploring the woods for hours, and the sudden appearance of the eyes startled them. Their hearts pounded in their chests as they stood frozen, unsure of what to do next. A furry head popped out. It was a raccoon. The small creature looked at them curiously, its nose twitching as it sniffed the air. The tension in the air began to dissipate as they realized it was just a harmless animal. He had a mischievous glint in his eye. The raccoon seemed almost playful, as if inviting them to join in on some secret woodland game. His tiny paws moved quickly and his eyes sparkled with curiosity and intelligence.
"You scared us," Lily said, her voice a mix of relief and lingering fear. She took a step closer, her initial fright giving way to fascination.
Jake exclaimed, relieved. He couldn't help but smile at the raccoon's antics. The fear that had gripped him moments ago was now replaced with a sense of wonder and excitement. The raccoon chittered and rubbed his paws together. Lily and Jake laughed. The sound of their laughter echoed through the trees, blending with the natural symphony of the forest. It was a moment of pure joy and connection with nature. The woods didn't seem so scary anymore. The once ominous shadows now felt like protective arms, and the rustling leaves sounded like a gentle lullaby. The forest had transformed from a place of fear to a magical realm of discovery. They made a new friend that night. The raccoon stayed with them for a while, sharing in their adventure. As they walked back home, they knew they would always remember this night as the beginning of a special friendship with the forest and its inhabitants.